it's changed a lot down this lane since I was last down it. Over on the right there's reputedly the most haunted place in England, Chingle Hall. I've been in it many times. I've never seen a ghost in there, and I'm a medium. However, in its defence, it's built on the crossing of a few ley lines. And if you know anything about ley lines, they're energy lines, dragon lines. Feng Shui is based on it. They are very real, and the Catholic Church used to build their churches on ancient sites, which usually were built on the crossing of ley lines. And where ley lines cross, the energy spirals upwards, or aspiring. So when you see an old church with a church spire or a steeple, you know that's where the crossing of the ley lines is, and that's where spire got its name from, because the energy's spiraling upwards, or aspiring, and the energy is neutral. It's what you do with it, whether you use it for positive or negative. And also, with it being an ancient site, it's recorded many incidences over the years. So if there's been a battle or a war, it'll record it. And under certain circumstances they play back, and people think that's a spirit. I call them ghosts. A ghost is like a holographic recording. A spirit is somebody who died. I've got a funny story about Chingle Hall. It's where I first met Jason Cole. He were a presenter on Most Haunted. Anyway, one night we were there, and there was a group doing one of these overnight sponsored haunting stays. Jason showed all the group around, and I hid in a cupboard in the main hall. And they all come back down, sat down, and they're all around this table talking. I jumped out the cupboard screaming, "Oh my God, you should have seen how many shit themselves. It was funny as fuck." Even the skeptics shit themselves. So yeah, that's in Chingle Hall. Not haunted. That's my opinion anyway, and I'm a medium. Speaking of paranormal stuff, over on the right there is Longridge Fell, and apparently there's been a lot of weird sightings there. Quite a few weird sightings, but also big cat and Bigfoot sightings. Now, to me, with paranormal, if somebody sees something, you can all take the piss, and it's, oh, you're on drugs or you're drunk or whatever, yeah? That's the usual response. But you get two people who see the same thing separately, you think, oh, that's a bit of a coincidence. But when you get something like 10, 20, 30 people, you can't dismiss it anymore. It's circumstantial evidence. So then you get people, you start to investigate it, and of course the mainstream populace calls them nut jobs and whatever. You know, it's all part and parcel of it. But yeah, paranormal. Fuck off, fucking prick. Think he owns the fucking road. Flashing his bloody lights at me. Remember this years ago. A mate, he had an ailment him, and he come over here and he didn't know it was a left-hander. He ended up in that field over there. If I remember right, he had a Lotus engine in that ailment him. I know it was tuned up. Right, who's heard of the Pendle Witches? I know a lot of people in England have. There's a village on Pendle Hill, and a young girl, I think she was called Janet Devices, accused people of being witches, and there were a number of witches accused of witchcraft. I think there was 11 if my memory serves me right, I'm not sure. Anyway, they were arrested and they were taken to Lancaster Castle for trial. And this is the road they came down on. This is known as the Trough of Bowland. It's in the moors of Bowland, and it's a valley what runs through it. But yeah, this is the road they came down, and just imagine all those innocent people accused of witchcraft and then sentenced to death. That was something like 500 years ago when King James translated the Bible into English, and he put a passage in the Bible, and it was something like, "Suffer not a witch to live among you." And of course it gave birth to all the witch trials and everything. And the Pendle Witches were the first. Now, how's that mentality changed from all those years ago? Just think back to COVID. I didn't want the jab. And those that did have the jab, holy shit, some of them threatened to kill me. Oh, you're not had the jab, you need killing. Right. Oh, you're a witch, you need killing. Right. So, how much did these retards learn in the last fucking years of evolution? Zero. And when you try to talk sense to them, like, they'll tell you, oh, it's mandatory. Yeah, well, in law, mandatory means by consent. A contract. Oh, no, it doesn't. That's what you get. Yeah, just looking at Black's Law Dictionary. It is online. Just look what mandatory means. But that's the mentality. I used to be a social worker with adults with learning disabilities. There's no fucking difference. The mentality's the same. Thick as pig shit. That's why I call them retards. And here we are, in the middle of it all. Roadworks. Yeah, all around here there used to be gold mines and silver mines. And a bit further on up here is a quarry. And when I was married with kids, like, this was one of the places where we used to come and go crystal hunting. Which is where the quarry is. There's a lot of rocks exposed and there's crystals in the rocks. I still have some to this day. But yeah, kids used to used to love it. You know, go crystal hunting. Spend all day. You know, take a picnic with us and a flask and that. But yeah, it was one of the places. And it's marked by an old smelter where they used to smelt the minerals. See that one there? Her name's Barbara. And just here on the left is a smelter. There's a quarry up there to the left. Now we're rising up out of the trough. So, just past a building called Jubilee Tower, and somewhere in that car park is the grave of a Viking. But anyway, you can see Morecambe Bay there, and over there, the other side of the water, is the Lake District. Yeah, nice view, eh? Just gotta point something out. Oh. So yeah, you got the tower there. Now, over that way is Preston. Whereabouts, I have no idea, I can't really see. But I can see where Blackpool Tower is. If you look on the horizon, you'll see a tower shooting up. That's Blackpool. Oh. Well, yeah, that's it.